Tallstar's Revenge, Chapter 16. No. Dawnstrike turned to face Tallpaw. This was Shadow Clan's fault, no one else's. Tallpaw hardly heard her. Blood pounded in his ears. What have I done? All around him his clanmates stared at him as if he'd gone mad. Tallstar narrowed her eyes. What are you talking about, Tallpaw? Tallpaw struggled to speak. I smelled Shadow Clan scent on the bramble thicket by Fortress. I should have said something, but I didn't. Why not? Tallstar demanded. I thought it was just a Shadow Clan patrol on the way to the Moonstone, Tallpaw. Tallpaw blinked at her, aware of his round-eyed clanmates watching behind. You killed her! Dark brown fur flashed at the edge of his vision. Screeching, Tallpaw flew at him. Tallpaw gasped as his denmate crashed into his shoulder. Pain seared his nose. Claws battered his muzzle. Tallpaw lifted his forepaw, tried to push Shrewpaw away as vicious blows battered his ears. Control yourself! Hairflight snatched Shrewpaw by the scruff and hauled him away. Tallpaw stumbled to regain his balance as Shrewpaw clawed the air, hissing, I'll never forgive you! You killed my mother! Struggling free of Hairflight, the young Tom glared at Tallpaw. Barkpaw patted from the bracken and touched his nose to his brother's shoulder. Tallpaw desperately tried to catch his friend's eye. I'm sorry, Barkpaw. Barkpaw didn't look at him. Instead, he crouched beside Shrewpaw like a wounded rabbit. Tallpaw's heart twisted. Oh, Star Clan, forgive me! Tallpaw, Rena's mew sounded behind Tallstar. She crossed the grass and touched his cheek. Her nose. It wasn't your fault, she whispered. Rena! Bess called across the clearing. Come away, dear. This is clan business. Oh, Tallpaw. Rena backed away, eyes soft with sympathy. Tallstar dipped her head. You made a mistake, Tallpaw, she meowed. But this is not your fault. Shadow Clan killed Brakenwing, not you. But Tallpaw tried to argue, but Tallstar turned away. Let's move Brakenwing to the clearing, the Wing Clan leader told her clanmates, so that we can mourn her properly. Tallpaw pressed himself against the wall of the camp, sheltering in the heather fronds while Aspenfall, Cloudrun, and Hairflight lifted Brakenwing's body and carried it to a grassy hollow between the tusks. And as they laid her down, Hawkheart brought herbs from the medicine den and laid them along Brakenwing's flank. Tallpaw could smell their pungent green odor as it masked the scent of death. Redclaw and Palebird settled beside her, but Shrewpaw kept circling, his eyes dark. My dear friend. Palebird pressed her muzzle into Brakenwing's fur. You were the only one who saw Finch Kit before she died. No one else understood my grief. Tallpaw wished there was some way he could comfort his mother, but he had never been able to. His chest tightened. She won't want me. It's my fault her friend's dead. As the sun rose into the sky, Hawkheart moved from cat to cat, checking wounds while Barkpaw dashed back and forth to the medicine den, fetching herbs to treat them. Aspenfall and Restock collected the shredded grass around the nursery and began to thread it back into the walls. Meadowslip peeked out. Make them thick, she meowed shakily. I want my kids to be safe if there's another attack. Shadow Clan won't get through this, Aspenfall promised her, weaving another thorny stem through the branches. Stage Leap helped Whiteberry, Flamepelt, and Flailfoot hook back the torn stems that dangled across the entrance to the Elder's Den. Lily Whisker sat back and gave directions. Weave some heather to soften it, she croaked. The grass thorns scrape my spine every time I go in. Tallpaw? Hawkheart's mew surprised him. Tallpaw glanced up at the sky. How long had he sat alone? Sunlight had passed, and the sun was sliding toward the moortop. What? He meowed, feeling hollow inside. I need to treat your wounds. The medicine cat was brisk. Stand up so I can take a look. Don't bother. Tallpaw stared at the ground. The scratches, Frogpaw and Ashpaw, given them were throbbing, but they felt like not bites comparing with the stinging words Shrewpaw had left on his muzzle. The stinging wounds Shrewpaw had left on his muzzle. My wounds don't matter. Don't be rabbit-brained. Hawkheart crouched beside him. But I killed her, Tallpaw croaked. You're a half-trained apprentice. The safety of the clan doesn't rest in your paws, Hawkheart told him sharply. You weren't the only clan on that patrol. Aren't any of the others blaming themselves? Tallpaw glanced across the camp to where Stage Sleep was sifting through the prey heap. He hadn't detected Shadow Clan's scent. But I did. I should have told him. Hawkheart sniffed at the scratches around Tallpaw's ear. Tallpaw flinched as his nose touched a tender wound. Barkpaw! Hawkheart called across the clearing. Bring some Doc and Marigold. Barkpaw's gaze flashed toward them. Tallpaw tried to catch his eye, but his friend just nodded and headed for the medicine den. Tallpaw wondered if Barkpaw would ever speak to him again. Once Hawkheart had left, and the herbs had begun to soothe the sting of his wounds, Tallpaw tucked his paws tight under him. Palebird and Redclaw still lie beside Brakenwing's body. Shrewpaw continued to pace in circles while the rest of the clan waited at the edge of the clearing for the night vigil to begin. Tallpaw watched the sun dip below the wall of the camp and huddled deeper into the heather, relieved as the shadows swallowed him. He stiffened as the branches around him trembled. Someone was coming through the entrance. He jerked around as Heavy Nose marched into the camp. Sandgrass, Mistmouse, Woollytail, and Plumecaw followed, their eyes stretching wide as they saw the torn grass and shredded grass littering the clearing, some of it stained ominously red. Plumecaw's pelt left. Is that Brakenwing? She charged across the clearing and gazed down at the dead warrior's body. What happened? Aspen Fall emerged from the nursery, his fur covered in bits of leaves. Shadow Clan attacked. Can't you smell them? Can't you smell the stench? Reedbear leaped out of the meeting hall. It seemed as if the entire clan was here. Heatherstar padded from her den, following the rim of the hollow, stopping beside her deputy. It's a shame you didn't get back earlier, she mewed quietly to the tunnelers. Sandgrass twitched in air. Palebird! Palebird lifted her head from beside Brakenwing. I'm okay. Her meow cracked as she spoke. Shrewpaw lashed his tail. Brakenwing's stabbing was and it was Tallpaw's fault. Sandgrass blinked. Tallpaw? How? Nose twitching, he peered into the shadows, stopping when he spotted Tallpaw. His eyes darkened. Heart twisting, Tallpaw looked away. He hates me even more now. Shrewpaw! Reedfeather stepped forward. You have to stop blaming Tallpaw for something Shadow Clan did. You are clanmates. Your loyalty is too sharp. But Heatherstar didn't let Shrewpaw speak. This wasn't Tallpaw's fault, Sandgrass. Shrewpaw speaks from grief. That's all. Tallpaw swallowed. Was that true? No one had been near him all day except Hawkheart. Was the whole clan grieving as much as Shrupa? Metal slip! Hickory Nose bounded to the nursery. Metal Nose squeezed out, dropping onto the grass and pressing her cheek to her mate. Hickory Nose fussed over her. Are you hurt? I'm fine, Metal Slip promised. Bess and Algie defended the den with Rena. She blinked gratefully across the camp at the roaches as they cleared some scraps of heather and grass from the blood-stained tusks. I wish I'd been here to protect you, Hickory Nose fretted. Hairflay padded towards Brakenwing's body. So do we. Hickory Nose stared in surprise at the brown warrior. The tumblers are never here when we need them, Hairfly hissed. Reedfoot stepped forward. We can't keep blaming each other for this. Woollytail's hackles rose. This wasn't our fault. Clubrunner lifted his muzzle. Where were you when we were fighting to defend the clan? We were digging tunnels so you could eat come Leaf Bear, Bloomclaw snapped. Aspenfall's tail twitched. What good will your precious tunnels be if ShadowClan drives us from our home? Sandgrass narrowed his eyes. If you let us dig the tunnels we need, we could defend our homes more effectively. You mean the gorge tunnel? Aspenfall curled his lip. How would have that helped today? It would have given us an escape route, Sandgrass snarled. To where? Aspenfall challenged. RiverClan territory? Sandgrass narrowed his eyes. We could have sheltered in the tunnel. It's big enough for the whole clan. You want us to leave our camp and hide? Cloud Runner squared up to Sandgrass, pelt bristling. Are you a warrior or a rabbit? Tallpaw braced himself. The clan was tearing itself apart. Well, that's the end of Tallstar's Revenge. Chapter 16. I have been Musebird 23. This Tallstar's Revenge will be updated as usual this week. Has been so far updated as usual this week. I am hoping it'll continue. So, poor Shrupa. He lost his mother, and Brakenwing right now isn't really speaking to Tallpaw. What's going to be happening between the three den mates? And will Shrupa forgive Tallpaw for his death? Will Shrupa be able to forget that? Stop blaming Tallpaw for his mother's death? And will Barkpaw ever speak to Tallpaw again? And will Sandgrass stop being a pain in the butt to Tallpaw? Comment and subscribe and find out.